we looking at today? Well, we're going to look at this Miguron Koraki, which is a knife that I was really excited to get to see. And now I'm not, like, the whole thing of the beauty and everything of it has kind of worn thin. That's why I do these videos the way I do. I do the unbiased first impression, and I might really like something, but after a few weeks and a couple weeks of carry, things might change, which is what happened with this. While this is a gorgeous, beautiful knife, I think it is a flawed beauty. So we're going to take a quick look at it. We're going to look at it in depth, but we're not going to do it here. We're going to look at it from above, but we're not going to do it right now because first, you guys have got to listen to a little bit of music. Guys, we're getting around to the full review of this. This is that Miguron Koraki. This is a visually striking knife, but there's some negatives to it, as you saw from the title, Flawed Beauty. It's not horrible. Let's just go ahead and get that out of the way. But we're gonna look at let's look at the specs and the weight and everything first, and then we'll look at the good and bad points. So what are we looking at? We are looking at a 7.75 inch gorgeous knife that is carrying a 3.25 inch compound ground. Now that is what makes it so striking. Compound ground drop point blade that is a front flipper in S90V, one of my favorite steels ever. S90V is a good all-around steel. This thing is ridiculously sharp. So you're looking at a blade stock thickness of 0.011. So let's get the calipers out real quick and we'll take a look at the blade stock thickness and behind the edge thickness. All right, guys, I have checked my calipers twice now. I filmed this like 3 times. This is 0.125 or 1245. 0.1245 on blade stock thickness. I know I said it's 0.11. They have got it wrong, and I'm not gonna lie, I'm getting really frustrated, so we're just gonna do this. 0.2 or 0.0275 there, and in the thinner part, or should be thinner part, it's actually thinner or thicker. It's 0.03 on blade stock thickness behind the edge. So getting really frustrated with this. I filmed this part like 5 times, so sorry if it's short and abrupt, but there's your blade stock thickness and you're behind the edge. I'm back. I'm debating whether there's going to be a live feed tonight because everything that can go wrong has been going wrong. So handle length on this, you're looking at 4.4 inches handle length, done in a titanium frame lock on bearings, and it's attractively done. So your final spec, let's get this weight out of the way, is going to be 100 grams. They have it listed in weight in grams, so let's go ahead and pull the scales over and take a quick look at it. Like I said, they have this listed in grams. I don't have a weight in ounces on it yet, but let's take a look. So in ounces, this is not a real heavy knife. You're looking at 3.5 ounces, and in grams, let's see how close they came because their blade stock thickness was off. 102 grams, 2 grams difference. Their specs are not 100% great on Miguron's website. So let's go ahead and get the scale out of the way and talk about the knife, the good, the bad, and the ugly. All right, so let's actually get into this. This knife, first of all, the machining and everything, we did it in the first impression, so we're gonna talk about it again though. This knife is just outright gorgeous with this machining and the checkering, the way the blade looks, all of the stuff is really well done and finished. No real hot spots to speak of, except maybe that little bit right there where the lock bar is, where it cuts in. I think that this would have been better as a bolster lock, in my opinion, or a frame or a liner lock, I should say. Action on it. Super smooth action. The front flipper on it is not horrible, but we will talk about that in a little bit. Then you have this beautiful double satin blade. You've got the satin going this way. You have your grinder satin, and then you have your satin going from heel to tip. Beautifully well done. All of that is gorgeous. The jimping is just basically there for your flipper tab. Once you deploy the knife there, that jimping really doesn't get you anywhere because it's down flush with the scales. Like we said on the thing, super light, feels good in hand because it is milled out on the inside, heavily milled out, even on the lock bar itself. Material's been removed and things like that. So A lot of good things going for this knife. It's got these beautiful coffin, almost coffin-ended buoy. You know how buoys have the coffin-ended handles, coffin-capped handles? Beautiful, beautiful look to it. The action on it is smooth. It's just shy of drop shut. Just shy of drop shut. Almost there, but not quite. Just a little bit of hesitancy on it. S90V blade, so you're getting a really, really good blade steel. I don't understand why it's thinner behind the edge here than it is behind the edge here. I don't know what's going on there. I measured it several times. It's not an optical illusion. It's not something I'm doing, but this definitely should be thinner behind the edge, but it's not. But it does cut well. I'm not gonna lie, S90V takes a really aggressive edge, even at a higher polish like this. And it cuts incredibly well. So you're looking at a knife that has a lot of bells and whistles and things like that. Now, let's talk about some of the stuff I don't like. First and foremost, pocket clip isn't a hot spot, but man, is it a pain in the backside to get it in and out of your pocket. It is too tight. And then with this checkering, this has been the thing that I talk about a lot of times with knives that have texturing on the scales. Just pick the spot where your pocket clip is and don't have it be on a point. Let's see in and out of pocket if you can hear it. It's in and out of pocket. It's hard on your pockets. So you'll be carrying this around and then you'll see little pieces of material underneath the pocket clip. The pocket clip is really stiff, almost too stiff. Even in track pants, this was really tight. Then you have this. This is one of the reasons that I don't like this. This catches material. So these are really abrupt. They're not softened. If I was carrying my Norseman, but unfortunately we know what's going on because I'm carrying this instead of it, it's hidden. My daughter hid it from me again. So it's really, really stiff and abrupt and it catches material. I don't know why companies can't just put it on the inside. I don't know if it costs more. They're already milling the inside. You know what I'm saying? They're already doing milling on the inside. Why not do this on the inside as well? Then you don't have that problem. And then make a spot underneath the pocket clip. Those are just some of the things that bother me on things like that. But the flip side of that too is it is a front flipper open. There is no aperture. There's no thumb stud. It's just front flipper open only. And I don't like that option. I don't like front flippers. I feel like I'm in an awkward position when I have, and I set this up here, when I have a flipper knife, a back flipper, I've got full control of that knife. I've got my hand right where I want it, and I'm deploying that knife, and I don't have to change the position of my hand. In a front flipper, this is my natural position, right? This is where, but I take the majority of my hand off that knife to deploy it, much less secure in my opinion. It just feels like the knife, every front flipper to me, just feels like the knife is going to come out of my hand. And then last but not least is the fact that this came, and I guarantee it came like this from the factory, really asymmetrically ground. I mean, that's not a severe showstopper, but it's obvious that in the course of sharpening this, you're going to get down into this. So I would like to see this brought down a little further and brought up, and just a little bit more consistency in the grind. When you have a compound grind like this, when you add anything like a swedge or a compound grind or any of those little elements, it's really easy to find flaws in that, because the fact is that now you've made more facets where you're going to see these inconsistencies. And if this grind is off from side to side, this secondary grind, like you may have the fixture set for this because that's how you always grind knives, and then you do this secondary and it's at a different angle. If that's off a little bit, if the primary grind of the blade is off, you're going to have these inconsistencies. So you can kind of see where it looks as though one of these sides terminated at a different point than the other one, and that's going to allow you to have a much more asymmetrical grind. It could have been something that happened in sharpening. I doubt it though. Jared's pretty particular about how he sharpens things. So really attractive knife. So that would be, just a couple little things. There's some hot spots here, like right in here. I would like to see a little bit more room in here. These are minor things, but the big ones are the pocket clip's really stiff. This should have been on the inside. The checkering should have been removed underneath the pocket clip, and it should have had a secondary option. In my opinion, it needed a thumb stud. Now, I know that there's clamp-on thumb studs. Cole's been showing a lot of... Oh, another thing. I haven't taken it apart yet to see, and I probably will because I want to clean it up before I send it to Jared. If this is a keyed pivot, then they really kind of got that off center. But I'm not going to complain too much because you're getting a lot of bells and whistles. But the flip side is this is in a price range where something like this, it has enough negatives that it's outside of what I would purchase. These things are going for anywhere between $193 and $240. That's the prices I saw listed for these. Now, the flip side of this is this Miguron has a very cheap budget, not cheap, it has a very much less expensive budget cousin called the Valona, which in my opinion was a better knife at a lower price. So yeah, you're looking at something that's kind of outside what I would want. The negatives on this don't necessarily outweigh the benefits, but at the price, a front flipper only, with those problems, like don't get me wrong, the front flipper action on this is good. It's just that with that combined, you're looking at something that's just not something I would buy. So that's it, guys. That's it on this one. I don't know if there's going to be a live feed tonight. Everything that can go wrong has, and it's kind of ruined my mood. So we'll see how we do with that. There may or may not be a live feed tonight. So let's turn this around, do some final thoughts, and then head you out about your way. So like I said, guys, this is a gorgeous knife. Couple little tweaks would have made it so much better. Would have put it at the price point. Like I said, I think it's between 194 and like 300-ish, depending on where you get it. Basically between $200 and $300. It's just outside of what I would pay for something that has the issues with it that it does have. So not a bad knife at all. Great steel, great, well done. You guys might love it. Give it a try. See if you can find one. See if you can get a hold of one without having to purchase it. So guys, that's it on this one. If you like the videos, give them a thumbs up. If you don't like them, give them a thumbs down. But please try to tell me why. I can't change the content if you don't tell me what you don't like. If you want to support the channel, it's as simple as like, share, subscribe, drop a comment, hit the bell icon. But if you hit the bell icon, make sure you've got notifications turned on your device, because I put up 2 videos a day. One of them sometimes being a live, but at any rate, 2 videos a day and sometimes short. So that's a lot of content. You want to make sure you get all those notifications. If you want to support the channel financially, there's a bunch of ways you can do it. I have a membership down below that is tier-based. Pick the tier that suits you best, gets you what you want, but everyone saves $5 off my sharpening service, and everyone gets access to my gilded server, which is a lot of fun. Other ways you can do it, I have a ton of affiliate links down below. We now have Blade HQ and a coffee company, so I would appreciate if you're looking for any of these knives that you go to my Blade HQ affiliate link down below and use that as a portal to go in, because I get credit for anything you purchase. And if you like coffee with no politics, check out Coffee Brand Coffee. No politics, no pandering, just the products. Other ways you can do it, the final way is I have a merchandise store down below where you can purchase my merchandise or anything on Ember Shirt Co. with my coupon code CrazySharp, all one word, capital C, capital S, CrazySharp, all one word, saves you 10% at checkout. And if you send me pictures of you wearing my merchandise, I will put them in a video. Guys, I love you all. Keep it clean in the comment section. If it's your birthday, happy birthday. And I will see you in the next video. Wow, it took a lot of times to get that down to 1 cut. Now my remote's not working.